The four biggest mistakes agents make when switching to a cloud-based brokerage. Are you thinking about making the switch to a cloud-based brokerage like Real Canada? Of course, you're not alone. More and more agents are leaving their traditional brick and mortar brokerages behind and embracing the freedom, the flexibility, and the financial opportunities that cloud-based brokerages just offer. Real is, of course, the fastest growing brokerage in all of North America, Canada, and the States, which means most agents are choosing to join Real over every other brokerage. But here's the thing, not all agents make a smooth transition. There can be hiccups, there can be bumps in the road. And in fact, I see some agents make some big mistakes when they switch and join Real. However, you can avoid them and set yourself up for success from day one. So let's jump into it. The four biggest mistakes that I see agents making as they make a switch to Real Canada. One is not having a detailed transition plan with steps in place and really knowing what it takes to make the switch. This is probably the first most common mistake that I see. I see agents decide, yeah, I'm making the switch, I'm sold, this is what I want, this is going to help me, but they haven't really planned out well what it takes to make this switch with my personal business. I get it, it's exciting, it's an exciting change, Real is amazing, and you should be excited to join. However, there are things that are involved that we need to line up and really figure out to make this switch as painless and as streamlined as possible. So here are some of the things that you need to figure out to line up before you make this switch. Firstly, research your previously signed ICA or independent contractor agreement that you have in place with your current brokerage. If you're not licensed with a current brokerage, disregard this step. But you need to look at that agreement. What did I sign? What does it say about if I leave? What does it say if I leave is going to happen to my current listings? See what it says. Now, there could be some relaxation from what it says. There could be brokerage policy, but in the end, a lot of it is left up to the managing broker. So definitely have a chat with your managing broker at your current brokerage and say, this is my plan, I will be leaving. So can we just talk through how it's going to look taking my listings with me? In the past, I've definitely seen them relax some things. However, it's completely up to that managing broker and that brokerage. They may or may not be as lenient and as easy to work with as others are. You will need to inform your clients, of course. You don't want your clients to just think that you disappeared. You're no longer at the same office that you were at, and that same logo won't be behind your head anymore. So that does need to be addressed with clients. They need to know what's going on. So if you have a lot of active listings, it will involve phone calls, emails, and in another video I have about making the transition as smooth as possible, I go over really how to address talking to a client and how to phrase it to them in a positive way. Another thing you need to line up is updating your branding, all your marketing, your email signature, your social media bios need to reflect which brokerage you're at, your business cards, your website, making sure that everything is up to speed. Some of these things you can get done prior to the switch. Some of these things, though, will have to be done essentially after you switch. You just wouldn't want a lot of lag time to elapse where with something that shows that you're at your past brokerage for days and weeks after you made that switch. It will have to be updated relatively soon and quickly as possible. So we touched on this, but you do have to transfer your listings. Now, depending on the MLS board that you're with, the brokerage that you're with, the managing broker, you might be able to transfer listings. You may also be able to cancel those listings. So just cancel them at your current brokerage and then bring them up fresh as a new listing once you've made the switch. After you've made that switch, you'll of course have to set up all the different systems that are in place. Don't be overwhelmed by this thought. Real is really made to easily transition into. So there will be things to jump into and to learn, and you'll have to be taking advantage of those new systems, but that's something you really need to settle in on. The smoother your transition, the faster you can get back to what you really want to do, and that's sell real estate and help people. Mistake number two that I see is failing to market your move. And that's a huge missed opportunity if it's not taken advantage of. Switching to a cloud-based brokerage is a big deal. And as you move to Real, you now have access to a ton of new technology that'll really help your business, that'll streamline your business, that'll provide so much more education. So announce that. Make a social media post. Tell your clients how excited you are to be there. And a side result is this will also show other people in the industry that you've made this switch and can also help you. So a few different ways that this announcement can be made is, of course, on social media. So you can create a post explaining, why you made this switch, what helped you make this decision, how excited you are about being at Real and all the tools and tech that they offer. So it can be a short video. You can even hop onto a camera and explain all this. As well, you could do a small write-up. Nobody wants to read an essay about your change, but if it's a small 2 or 3 paragraph explanation about why you made the switch and how excited you are and how nothing's going to change in your level of service, send that out to your client database. It'll be an excuse to touch base with them, and you'll just be top of mind. And at the same time, you're telling them about Real and helping to grow Real in the eyes of consumers and in their public awareness of the company. So make sure you update your online presence. So there's a lot of different areas that some things we set up and then we never really touch again. Like for me, it's LinkedIn. I don't really use LinkedIn too much. Make sure that's updated. Make sure your Google profile is updated. You might think of something like a week later and be like, I didn't think of that either. But just keep on top of it and make sure everything does transition over with you and make that announcement clear. A third mistake that I see people make as they've made the switch is not taking full advantage of Real's tools and resources and tech that we have. Real has really designed a brokerage that their goal is to give us the best tools and tech to help us succeed, to give agents the best user experience possible. If there's something that can be streamlined, there's still a small enough growing company that I can knock on their door, I can go send an email, make a phone call, and they will listen, and they have implemented changes that I've suggested. So take advantage of what they give us because it is huge and it is what really sets us apart from other brokerages. Some key resources that you need to be taking advantage of here at Real Canada is our training and mentorship. So Real offers incredible training and mentorship programs. So weekly masterminds, hop onto those. There's over 30 every single week in our Real Academy. Make sure you're utilizing that because this is some of the top minds, not just in Real, in the entire industry, telling you what's working in this aspect of their business this week. It is massive. As well, if you're a new agent, there is a Real mentorship program, so you can hop on that and be guided through your first few real estate deals and transactions. Our CRM, our marketing tools, Real provides cutting edge tech to help us to automate our follow-up, to run ads, to stay in touch with leads. Make sure you know how to use it. Attend those training seminars that are focused on that tech. Our community, our collaboration, even though we are cloud-based, we work together. We're not alone on an island. So make sure you connect with other Real agents in your area, in your town. If you're not having like a monthly get-together coffee, set one up. Arrange that so that we can really continue to grow and collaborate and help each other. Make sure you are aware of the revenue share and stock options, the different ways that we can make an income here at Real Broker. Most agents come to Real obviously knowing the commission model and that it itself will likely save them money, potentially tons of money, but make sure you really deep dive into the different income streams that Real provides. The stock purchase program, look into that. You'll be setting aside a small portion of your check, every single commission check, into buying stock into Real, but in doing so, you'll be given stock bonuses. After a year or two, these stock bonuses can really add up and even offset what you've paid into the brokerage. Look into the revenue sharing model, understand it, realize that no, it's not multi-level marketing, it's not gross. Instead of the profits going to the franchise owner, the brokerage owner, profits are being distributed partially to people within the company that are helping growing the company. The agents who thrive, who really love it here at Real, are the ones who take full advantage of the resources, of the tech, of the support, of the collaboration, and the training that is made available to us. So if you make the switch, use the tools that we are given to help grow your business. The fourth mistake, and one that I have seen agents be hung up on and actually join Real, and then leave after deciding that, well, maybe this is not for me, is not understanding what a cloud-based brokerage is and how it's different from brick and mortar. It quite simply is different. There are some services that are offered to you at a brick and mortar brokerage which are not offered to you here. There is no secretary sitting at a desk, answering the phone and diverting it to you. You will be your own secretary. Now you might have a team, you might have assistants, that's totally fine. You might be a solo agent and have everything on lock, but you will be doing your filing system. There's no one to walk into at the end of a week and put down some papers on a desk and say, got another accepted offer, and that person sends it to the managing broker and files it as needed. That is on you. There are some things that you have to do that maybe you weren't used to doing. Maybe you could just say to your secretary, can you pull the title for this property over at 123 Main Street? No, that's on you. So you will have to create your own MyLTSA account. There will be extra steps. Is it worth spending thousands of more dollars to be at an office for someone to pull me a title? No, it's not. So that's the decision you have to make. But there are differences. There is a ton of training, as I went over. However, there is not someone that'll make you get out of bed and go to work. There's no managing broker that'll be knocking on your door saying, how did your lead generation go today? If you need accountability, there are groups and mastermind groups within Real where you can tune into and get that same accountability. But you won't have someone looking over your shoulder asking you what you're doing. If you need that motivation, you might be best off being at a brick and mortar traditional brokerage. So to recap, the 4 biggest mistakes that I see some agents make as they make the switch into a cloud-based brokerage like Real Canada is 1, not having a transition plan. Write down on a piece of paper all the things that you're going to need to change and switch as you make the switch over, all the branding that you need to change, how you're going to address your listings. Have a checklist of your listings and make sure everything is being done with every single one. Talk with your managing broker. Check your ICA and see what it says about making the switch. The next mistake I see is failing to market your move. Use social media, use email, use video to let people know where you are, that you haven't just disappeared, but that you're growing in your business and this is how you're doing it. Thirdly, a mistake that I see is not taking advantage of all the tools, the tech, the masterminds that we have here at Real. If you don't take advantage of all the training, those over 30 live classes every single week, you might feel disconnected and alone. But you start hopping into those Zoom classes and you will flourish and your business will grow. And fourthly, again, not understanding the difference of what it's like being at a cloud-based brokerage, not having that traditional secretary for that office support. There are more things that you as an agent will have to do, but there are cost savings and there's actually more money being made here at Real. So if you're thinking about making the move over to Real Canada, let's talk. Drop a comment below. If you have any specific questions, you can hit me up. All my contact information is on my website. Let's have a chat to see if Real would be a good fit for you or not.